According to the National Center for Educational Statistics, as of 2003, ELL students comprised 10% of all students, with over 400 home languages represented. Spanish was the main one. By 2015, ELLs are expected to be 30% of the school-age population. Now, this population is going to continue to grow, and as it does, teachers are responsible for accommodating the needs of all ELL students in the classroom. Technology is the most prevalent area of advancement and change in education today. That's no different with regards to teaching the ELL students. ELL students need as much vocabulary knowledge as they can acquire, as vocabulary knowledge has been closely linked with academic success. Teaching vocabulary through content area subjects provides the most meaningful vocabulary learning opportunities for ESL students because they not only learn technical vocabulary, but they also use it in context. Incorporating language learning into content areas such as math also facilitates language learning because students learn the language and not just about the language. Adding technology increases the opportunity for social interaction, which allows for practical application of language skills in all content areas. It also gives learners the tools and framework for learning to build knowledge instead of simply consuming it. When teaching math to ELL students, it's important that mathematical vocabulary is a priority. Math involves critical thinking, reasoning, and problem solving, and it's crucial that students understand the vocabulary. If the students can't understand the language of the subject, they'll struggle to understand the subject overall. Since vocabulary can create challenges in math, students must learn specifics such as content, vocabulary, and expressions. Some instruction activities that can be used to help with this is to have the students create note cards that they can refer to. They can write their vocabulary and math terms in their own words on the note cards. They could also keep a journal that will strengthen their language skills, and it'll allow them to reflect on what they're learning in a non-threatening environment. Some simple tricks that can help instruction for ELL students are paraphrasing often, emphasizing key terms, shortening sentences, and having patience when waiting for students to answer questions. Using diagrams and graphs helps students develop concepts and understanding and focus on reasoning. Small group interactions help students learn how to communicate the math language and discuss the math process and concept. The students are more likely to participate, and they gain confidence and feel comfortable taking part in whole class discussions. These small groups give the students an opportunity for a safe learning environment. Some other instructional strategies would be the think aloud technique. This will help students narrate the problem-solving process. Use manipulatives and models to demonstrate the concepts. Use clarity checks to clarify any instruction. Consider the amount of homework. Consider individual learning styles. Get to know the students' cultures and backgrounds. And always have an approachable attitude. Most students have grown up with technology and are considered digital natives. ELL students may encounter some difficulty with the use of technology. To make the most of instructional technology, ELLs must first have the language skills and oftentimes the vocabulary required to understand how to use technology. There are numerous instructional strategies that educators can use to help build the English language learners' digital literacy while promoting technical skills. Build technology vocabulary. You can assess students' background knowledge, and you can discuss technology terms with the students. Review basic instructions. Use props and demonstrations. Provide the students with handouts containing visuals. Create simple assignments, or modify the lessons. There are numerous websites available to incorporate math and technology. The Math Forum is an online community dedicated to improving K-12 mathematics and education. It offers math tools, instructional strategies, engaging activities, and support materials. Another website is Mr. Math. It's a group of about 200 trained experts, and students from around the world can submit answers to the problem of the week. Key summative assessments are designed to provide data that indicate whether a student is advanced, proficient, or below a specific level set by a school, state, or a district. These assessments pressure schools, districts, and states to prove that students have achieved their adequate yearly progress. This data does not consider the learner's thinking or ability to reason. Formative assessments can support all students' learning styles and abilities. If they're conducted on a regular basis, they can promote student growth, understanding, and progress. In an address to the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce on March 10, 2009, President Barack Obama said, "I'm calling on our nation's governors and state education chiefs to develop standards and assessments that don't simply measure whether students can fill in a bubble on a test, but whether they possess 21st century skills like problem solving and critical thinking and entrepreneurship and creativity." Lev Vygotsky believed a child's intelligence can be measured, not by what he can do alone, but with skilled help and interaction with his environment. When looking to use technology in your curriculum, what really matters is not what kinds of technology you use, but how you use that technology. A developmental approach to choosing the technological tools that are used could help students develop skills that can be used over many years. Good decision-making requires us to be aware of different roles for technology, to think clearly about our own classroom goals, right down to the particular needs of particular students, and to choose technologies expressly to further these goals. Many ELL students are unfamiliar with even the most basic tools associated with mathematics, but adding technology resources will help them maximize the potential of their learning. It can support the teaching and learning of math by bringing learning experiences that captivate student interest and build mathematics understanding, proficiency, application, and confidence. The use of technology in mathematics is not for the purpose of teaching about technology, but for the purpose of enhancing mathematics teaching and learning with technology. Activities using technology should address worthwhile mathematics concepts, procedures, and strategies, and should reflect the nature and spirit of mathematics. Technology provides opportunities for both elementary and more advanced students. Some elementary activities would be to do simple arithmetic calculators or to do computer games that provide fact learning drills. Some more advanced students could study programming languages, dynamic geometry software, symbolic algebra calculators. They could use software like Geometer's Sketchpad or Cabri, spreadsheets, symbolic algebra calculators, and the like. They're learning how to use spreadsheets, graphing calculators, and playable websites to explore mathematics concepts and use mathematics to solve problems in applied contexts. Technology proficiency will not only help our students increase their mathematical understanding, but it will help prepare them for living and learning in the 21st century. In the field of math, language learning and technology should be incorporated so students are involved in cooperative learning activities. Technology use should be evaluated based on whether or not it promotes knowledge construction by the students. And when language learning is placed within the content and technology is used correctly, ELL students have maximum potential for both language and content learning.